My baby girl asked if I can make her some chicken parmesan before she went back to college. So of course I had to oblige. Check out this recipe. Okay, so even though we are going to be using some jar sauce, I do want to enhance it. So I decided to roast a head of garlic. I chopped off the tip, put a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and I put it in the air fryer on 400 degrees for 20 minutes. After that, I went and I prepared my chicken breast. I just took, I actually had a pack of the thinly sliced chicken breast, but because I was going to make it for the whole house, I went ahead and I sliced up some additional chicken breast. Once I had my chicken breast sliced, I went ahead and put some parchment paper on top, got a good mallet, and I just banged it out until it kind of flattened. I don't like a big, thick piece of chicken breast on my chicken parmesan, so I wanted to make sure that we got it, not super thin, but definitely thinner than what it was after it was sliced. After that, I took my chicken and I put it in a big bowl to get it seasoned, along with the additional chicken breast that I purchased. And then I did like a medium seasoning on my chicken breast. I did some salt, pepper, some paprika, a little bit of Tony Satchery, some Italian seasoning, garlic and onion powder, and I gave that a good mix. Now, we are going to use some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, but for my personal taste, I still like my chicken to be well seasoned. If you want to skip this step, you can, but I'm definitely not doing that. I have to have flavor throughout my chicken. So once I added all of my seasonings, I just went in there and gave it a good mix, and then I got my prepping station for my batters together. For my chicken breading, I have some milk with egg whisked together with a little bit of hot sauce, my Italian breadcrumbs, and just some plain flour. So I just went in and I dipped the chicken in the flour, into the milk and egg mixture, and then in the Italian breadcrumbs. I like to do everything all at once, so that's why when it's time to fry the chicken, I'm not continually to batter. So go ahead and get everything battered up, and then we'll go to the next step. And then while my grease was getting hot, I decided to move on to the sauce. You can do homemade sauce if you want, but for me, I like to take a shortcut when I can. So I'm just going to fix up a jar sauce. I have some classical, that head of roasted garlic that we roasted when we first started cooking. Once I got that in the pan, I went ahead and I seasoned it. You're going to see me add some Italian seasoning, some sugar. Yes, you do need a little bit of sugar to cut that tart and acidic taste from the tomatoes. If you don't want to, of course, you don't have to. I did go in also with some black pepper, some onion powder, as well as a little bit of salt. Definitely season to taste on this. Went in also with some oregano. While the sauce is simmering, we're going to go ahead and start frying our chicken. You want to get your grease to about 350 degrees. If you want to test it, you can drop a few drops of the flour into the grease. Once it sizzles, then you'll know that it's ready. You're going to go ahead and fry your chicken. Don't overcrowd your pan because you do want a crispy crust on your chicken so that it will withhold the sauce as we get further along into the recipe. You want to fry your chicken until it is done. It's a golden brown. It's going to float a little bit, but this is the color that we're looking for. Look how beautiful and uniform. Guys, I just love a good brown, crusty crust. If you watch any of my videos, you know I love brown meat and I love crusty foods. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a nice golden brown color as well as a nice hard crust. Get all of that chicken in the pan fried. You should have a pot of boiling water on the stove heating up for the noodles. So I saw this trick that says that little hole that's in that spatula spoon is to measure 1 serving of pasta per person in that little hole. I tried it just for nostalgia, but to be honest with you, it just took up extra time. So I just threw in enough pasta that I felt would be enough to feed the whole house. You want to go ahead and get your pasta boiling while everything else is cooking. So once I had all of my chicken done, I laid everything in my pan. I had my sauce, put a good amount of sauce on the chicken because you don't want your chicken to dry out. I'm going to put it in the oven. So before I put it in the oven, I want to make sure that it's dressed. But if you only put a thin amount of sauce, it's just going to dry out. So you want a good portion of the sauce. But you can see those little bits of the roasted garlic in that sauce. So even though it was a store-bought sauce, it still tastes amazing once you add your own seasonings to it. But yeah, once I got all of my sauce on my chicken, I took some fresh mozzarella, sliced that up, put it right in the center of my chicken breast, and then I went in with some additional shredded chicken breast, just some Italian blend shredded cheese, just to give it some more cheese pull and to cover the chicken. And you're going to pop that oven in a few minutes just until it's nice and melted and slightly browned. Once the chicken was dressed, I went ahead and put it in the oven about 425 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. I also took a large loaf of bakery bread, split down the middle, and put it in the oven as well until it was toasted. At this stage, the pasta should be done. You don't want to overcook it. You may want to cook it a little bit past al dente because we are going to add some more things to it. So I have this Basil Pesto sauce that I picked up from the store. You don't have to make this stuff from scratch, guys. If you are busy like me, but you still like, a nice home-cooked meal from time to time, try to improvise when you can. So once my noodles were done, I just went in and added that Basil Pesto sauce, a little bit of salt and pepper to season to taste. That oil that is in the sauce is going to keep the noodles nice and moist. So just give that a good mix until all of the noodles are coated, as you can see here. And then once the bread is toasted, now here's the thing. Normally I do this step last, but sometimes when I'm recording, I guess I get nervous and I kind of skip some things. But what you'll see in that bowl is just some melted butter with some Italian seasoning. Now, what we're going to do and now if you're afraid of butter, listen, you shouldn't be eating garlic bread anyway. It's full of butter and garlic. But what you want to do is you want to take some fresh garlic and you're going to rub that garlic into the bread. It's better if you do it before you add the melted butter because the melted butter is going to soften the crust a bit. If you put it on before you do the butter, that crust is going to help shred that garlic into the bread. But I'm telling you right now, doing it this way, it gives it such a fresh, crisp, garlic, gourmet. You think you're in Italy, sitting on the coast of Greece, sipping wine taste to your garlic bread, guys. It was still good, even though I put it on afterwards, but if you do it before, it's even better. We took the chicken out. Look how beautiful it is. The cheese is, not overly melted. Our garlic bread is ready, and we have our pasta. So now it is time to plate it up and get ready for dinner. Look at that plate. Got a nice helping of pasta. The chicken is on top. The cheese is nice and melty. You can see all of the flavor in the chicken. Guys, this meal was the bomb. I'm not just saying it because I made it, but it was. I can't help. Listen, I got to be honest with you. I have to tell you the truth. But give this recipe a try. Tweak it to your own liking and let me know what you think.